a place that I love as well as my Burgeo home neath the maiden tea hill. My Burgeo home, that heaven of mine, the home of my parents, so loving and kind. I love them so, and I always will. And my Burgeo home neath the maiden tea hill. The harbor's so pretty in the morning sunshine, as the seabirds and robins their sweet notes entwine. The fishing goes shiny in the water so still, here in my home neath the maiden tea hill. When I had trouble or if I was sad, I always found comfort from good friends I had. They knew that I loved them and I always will. And my Burgeo home neath the maiden tea hill. My Burgeo home, that heaven of mine, the home of my parents, so loving and kind. I love them so, and I always will. And my Burgeo home neath the maiden tea hill. With her fishery failing, I may have to roam. Dear God, how I'd hate to leave my dear home. But each night in memory, sure I'll see it still. My Burgeo home neath the maiden tea hill. My Burgeo home, that heaven of mine, the home of my parents, so loving and kind. I love them so, and I always will. And my Burgeo home neath the maiden tea hill.
Good evening. Welcome to This Week in Review. Tonight's stories include Lions Cavalcade for Diabetes was held last weekend. The Lions Community Center was the target of burglars this past week. Kindergarten and grade 6 students had their graduations this past week. These stories and more coming up after this. Please stay tuned.
Each year in Canada, hundreds of fires are started by children playing with lighters and matches. Children as young as 18 months can operate a lighter and start fires. The consequences couldn't be more deadly. Keep lighters and matches out of sight and out of reach of children. A message from Health Canada and this broadcaster.
Representatives from the local union executive and town council met with Seafreeze officials in Corner Brook on Monday. I spoke with local union president Edie Anderson and Mayor Marks about the meeting. Speaking with me in the studio today, I have local union president Edie Anderson and town mayor Blaine Marks. Welcome to our studio.
Thank you.
I understand you were both present last week when Mr. Effort made his announcement that Burgeo was one of 3 communities that would receive a multi-species processing license. Was this the announcement that you had hoped to hear?
Yes, it was, Dave.
Yeah, it was the announcement. We were called into St. John's for the news conference, and that was what we were hoping for that. But of course, we were still hoping for more, bigger and better things sometime down the road, hopefully in the near future.
The union executive and council are still pressuring the federal government to pass a proposal put to them a while back regarding the local plant here in Burgeo. How are things progressing with respect to that proposal?
Well, things are going pretty slow with it, but after our meeting with Mr. Barry last week, that there was over anywhere between 700 and more names. Send out fax letters or whatever yesterday to see if we can get this thing up and going.
Okay, you both attended a meeting in Corner Brook with Mr. Barry on Monday. Can you tell us the nature of that meeting?
Well, the nature of the meeting was to explain the proposal to us and what he had in mind for Burgeo.
Okay, so can you tell us anything about the proposal, or is it still confidential?
No, it's not. It's not really confidential. What he's looking for is some underutilized species plus others that is going to make plant viable until the cod stocks net return.
Okay, so you had a good response with your ad you had on for people to come up and sign letters or send
Yes, we
letters?
did. Eileen was there last night till about something 10, I guess. I thought she told me there was over 700 or more better people that came to her. Sending off fax and letters and whatever.
Okay. I understand that work to clean up and paint the plant will be starting in the very near future. Is that correct?
Yes, hopefully it might start on Monday, but I'm not sure because it's up to George. I guess George got back in town today, and I was talking to him today, but things are set up for sometime next week. And I would say he would have it on the TV to clean up outside the plant, cutting grass and using paint and whatever. And as many people as we can get in there, it would be great because we're hoping to get the CBC to come in and see some positive things going on in Burgeo for a change instead of giving us all negative.
Okay. Has Mr. Barry given you any indication as to when we can expect to see the sea freeze plant back in operation?
Yes, he did. In the meeting, as we just said, things were positive. He outlined the proposal in more detail to us. And at that time, he left. He said in no uncertain terms that he is committed to the Burgeo plant. He wants to see it open. He wants to see it operating, and he wants to see it operating year-round. In that regard, he decided to see if we couldn't start doing up the property, sprucing it up, do a bit of painting and cleaning up around. And he's committed $25,000 into an account there for supplies like paint and cleaning supplies. And that's the thing, we're asking the people to cooperate and go in a spirit of cooperation. It's a town effort to get the plant spruced up a bit, as Edie said, and to show, I guess, not only CBC, but we'll show Newfoundland and show the federal government that we're committed to this. We're going to say to them, come in, say to CBC, come in there, look at us, see what we've done to our plant. We've got our plant ready. Now we're waiting for the government. We're ready to work. Give us the things we're looking for, the quotas we're looking for, so that we can go back to work. We don't want to be sitting around anymore just waiting. We're ready to go to work, so give us the licenses that we're looking for. That's the message we want to get across, and I think we can accomplish that within the time frame that Mr. Barry gave us, and he's got to commit in excess of $1 million to get the plant reopened, to buy equipment for this crab processing and other species. And to that end, he's looking at May the 1st of '97 of having the fish plant back in full operation.
Okay, you mentioned sprucing up around the property and painting and things. Was there any mention as to when the power and water would be hooked back up at the plant?
Well, he's supposed to have someone in there within the next few days to look at the electrical system to see what needs to be done. And he's hoping to have the power back on. He said probably it may take 10 days to 2 weeks, but there should be some power back on the facility within that time frame.
Okay. Is there anything else that either of you would like to add?
We do have another meeting set up with Mr. Barry. He had asked us to set up a meeting with Earl McCurdy and Rich Anstey from St. John's at the Union. So he's got a date put to it, is the second day of July. That's when he wants to have the meeting. Now, I'm not sure because I haven't got in touch with the ones in St. John's, but I'm pretty well sure they'll try to make it here as any way possible.
So will the meeting be here in Burgeo?
The meeting will be here held here in Burgeo, yes.
Okay. Is there anything else
Well,
you'd like to
the
add?
only thing I'd like to say is that this committee has been working together, and this cleanup that we're looking at is not just for plant workers, anyone in the community that's interested in seeing the plant operate, for seeing that Burgeo's got a future, can go in there and help out, put on a few brushfuls of paint or whatever. So we're asking everybody to get involved in the cleanup. If you can go in for an hour or a couple of hours, or or for a week or whatever, by all means, we're looking for. We want a good show of support there to get that done. And the other thing, if they haven't already sent off their letters or their faxes signed them, there's I think we did 5 or 6 different form letters that they can just go in. If they don't want to write up their own letter, you can just go in the form letters, or you can just sign your name to it. It's basically, it would look like a personalized letter coming from you. Get that and send it off. It will be sent off by fax to the Deputy Minister, Bell Road, who seems to be the hold up in this whole procedure here. So what we decided to do, we would send letters to him and copies to the Federal Minister, Mr. Mifflin, and copies to Mr. Simmons, because if Mr. Rowe is going to sit back all summer and not do anything regarding this, I think we'll put enough pressure on him that he'll either do something, or the government will move him out and put someone in there that's willing to work for their money.
Okay, so where are these letters available if someone wants to sign them?
Well, they're at the union office, and I've got copies as well. So if anyone wants a copy of a letter, they can contact either Eileen or Edie or myself, and we've got the letters.
Okay, well, we'd like to thank you both for coming in and speaking with us today.
You're welcome, Dave.
You're welcome.
Our guests today are Edie Anderson, local union president, and Mayor Marks. The Lyons Community Centre was the target of burglars this past week. When concerned cabin owners came to the community centre on Monday evening for a meeting about the proposed increased fees, they found the meeting had to be cancelled due to the community centre being burglarized. Last Sunday night, burglars made off with 45 dozen beer, several cases of pop, and about $200 cash. The RCMP are investigating the burglary, but to date, no arrests have been made. If you have any information relevant to this case, you're asked to contact the RCMP detachment here in Burgeo. The cabin owners meeting will be going ahead tomorrow night. MHA Bill Ramsey will be in attendance. The Lions Cavalcade for Diabetes for this district was held between Deer Lake and Corner Brook last Saturday. Here are a few highlights from this year's cavalcade.
That's the draftsman's end if ever I saw one.
Thank you.
You got it on there. So without any further delays, we're going to get into what I think is the second most important thing of the cavalcade, and that's for if anybody would like to give some donations to the cavalcade. I'm sure that we're going to make time, and I'd like to start now. Lion Bond is going to keep track of the donations so that we'll have an approximate figure before we leave here today, total overall, including what is coming to me from the, excuse me, from the clubs through mail. So we could start that now. Thank you very much. Vice President Roy, from the Curling Lions Club, that is $100. Firebrook Lions Club, $200. The Lions Club of Springdale, $721. The Lions Club of Deer Lake, $200.
Before you announce that, I'd like to personally thank the ones that collected that money. It didn't all come from the Lions Club. Seeing our own town broadcasting is here. I'd like to thank Jonathan Dunford, Stan Kosser, Tracy Domney, Millie Burton, Jim and Edith Marsden, Dave Cooper, June Sims, Angus Clothier, and myself. And out of that check there's $100 from the Lions Club of Burgalrized. That's sponsored.
And the check that we have, including the $100 from the Lioness, from the Burgalrized Lions Club, is $1,500. From the Ramio Lions Club, is $477. So I guess that's 20 bucks. Thank you very much.
The Burgalrized RCMP held a bicycle rodeo on the fish plant parking lot this past week. School students from grades kindergarten through grade 6 were invited to come along and participate in the bike rodeo. All participants had to complete 6 different maneuvers on their bikes. A number of parents were on hand to assist the RCMP with the rodeo.
Make sure Robbie come up with the first. Alright, make sure you he's the sign so you can see where you see like free traffic, right? Alright, now you make the turn.
Good right.
Once everyone had completed the maneuvers, a prize was given to one student.
All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to put all the kindergarten and grade 1 in a box. All right, we're going to draw out a name, and that person will win a prize. Then we'll go to the grade 1, sorry, kindergarten, then we'll do the grade 1s. We'll draw a name, and then we'll do grade 2s, and all the way up to grade 6s. All right? And at the end of it, we have a gift certificate for $25, okay, for the Pro Hardware, for Hands Pro Hardware, and we'll put everybody's name into the box, and we'll draw for that. So everybody has a chance at that one. All right? After we give out the prizes, everybody listening? When we give out the prizes, we're then going to give a certificate to everybody who was in the rodeo. We have certificates. Anyone who does not have a helmet or whose helmet is busted, we have coupons here for $5. If you want to buy a new helmet, you can get $5 off. So we'll give those out. All right? We'll get those later. So, first thing. Okay, so we'll have the kindergarten. Draw. Get 2. Okay. And the kindergarten winner is Gina Parsons. Where's Gina? Gina, you get a horn. Come on up. That's for you, okay? Gina wins the horn. Alrighty. And you figure you guys just go sit back, eh? And the winner is Chaz Coley. There's Chaz, a horn for Chaz. Okay, there you go. Okay, grade 2 winner is going to be Matthew Spencer. Matthew gets the horn. We just want to get you ladies in camera, that's all. You're welcome, Dave. April in grade 3. Water bottle. You're welcome. Chances. Sheldon Ingram. Corey Clothier. Corey, the light, signal light. I think that's the person who had the highest score anyway.
Marcus.
Justin Foot. Oh, you had that best score, didn't you?
Yep, I
There you
did.
go, see? It all works. Alrighty.
Marcus, keep it up.
Zoom in, Dave. Matthew Spencer wins again. Where's Matthew? There he is, $25. Hey, Matthew, you have to buy a part or accessory for your bike, okay? Now you got a horn, you can buy something else.
Stay tuned for more of This Week in Review, still to follow.
Human survival depends on the Earth, on our planet's astonishing fertility. But what happens when the soil dries up and blows away? On Canada's prairies, on Africa's plains, precious topsoil is disappearing. Hi, I'm Bruce Coburn. Almost a third of the Earth's land surface is threatened by drought and desertification, and that means the lives of 1 billion people are at risk. The Earth can heal itself, but it needs help. People in developing countries are reclaiming their damaged land, restoring its lost fertility with the help of Canadian organizations like USC Canada. Worldwide, countries including Canada are starting to collaborate in the fight against desertification, working to ratify an international treaty. It's our future that's at stake. Together, we can bring the harvest home. Call 1-800-5656-USC.
Faith United Church has taken on a new look. 2 stained glass windows were installed in the church earlier this week. The window on each side of the porch of Faith United Church was replaced with stained glass on Monday. The stained glass is visible from the inside of the church more so than from the outside. However, when the windows are lit up in the nighttime, the stained glass shows up nicely from the outside as well. The stained glass was made in New Brunswick specifically for Faith United Church. The Town Council has decided on a different way to pick the students for the summer positions with the town. I visited the town office on Friday as Mayor Marks made the student selections.
This year, Council decided that we would do the Challenge 96 drawings or selections different than we did in previous years. We looked at it this year and decided to set up a committee to look at all the applications received, and everyone that qualified, we decided to put their name in a draw. We felt that this would be probably fairer to most students, because there are students in our system that have gone through high school on to university and have never got on a challenge project, and a lot of people see that as being a reflection on probably because who they are or who their parents are, and whether that is the case or not, we don't want to be seen to be doing that. So we thought the fairest way to do it would be put everyone in a draw, and whoever name comes out, that's who we'll call, and if they're not already on a project, then they'll start on the council projects. So we've got 6 draws this year. We've got 6 people to work on the playground and in the museum. So we're going to do it to be fair. We're going to have 3 male and 3 female. We're also going to have 1 alternate in case we call someone that's already hired, then we'll have the 4th name that we'll contact that person. So hopefully most people will see this as being a fair way of doing it. Everyone in the draw, the applications, you know, they're all equally, I guess, qualified for the project. So we see this as being probably the fairest way of doing it, so that everybody will have equal chance. And do you have anything to add to that?
No, just, well, we've got 6, which is was really 3 for the museum and 3 for the playground. We went through the applications, and pretty well the same people applied for both positions. And so we felt that we could draw for the 6 positions. We could place them afterwards. We'll probably have 4 in the museum anyhow, and we can always switch them around.
Yeah, they'll be hard for challenge, you know, like they may be spending time at the museum and doing other things around town, but the thing is they will be employed for the full duration, and you know, what they're doing, I guess, is really immaterial. If you're on the job, I guess we can't be too selective on what we're doing if we're lucky enough to get a job.
And the town was lucky. We did have one other one, an office worker, but we went through the applications for that one, and we took the one that was most qualified, because that one is going to have, right now I know she's going to be looking after 7, the book work for 7 other projects as well. So we needed someone who was more, you know, was quite capable of doing that. So that one is not in the draw. She's already been hired.
Yeah, that was a separate one.
One altogether.
So that's how we came about this. So what we want to do now is to draw the names, and of course by the time this is televised, the people will already have been contacted, but at least give the general public, I guess, an idea of how we went about it. And probably, you know, if more people see if this is probably a fairer way, then probably next year more organizations may choose to select the students this way. You know, we're not saying it's the right way, but we see it as probably being a more fairer way of doing it. So having said that, I think we'll now go ahead and have the draws. I'll shake up this one, and we'll draw for the females first. Now these are both secondary and post-secondary students. Now, you want to draw here 3, 1, 2, 3, okay, we'll get those, and then we'll pick the alternate. We have Ginger Dalman, Aaron Kosser, and Tanya Green. And we'll pick one more now as an alternate in case one of those can't, have already probably accepted a job somewhere else. And the alternate is Gina Reed. So now we'll have a draw for the
3 males.
For the males, and I guess I'll draw those 3. 1. 3, and you want, okay, I'll read them. Okay, the first one is Wayne Barter, Sammy Symes, and and Danny McDonald. That's the three, and the alternate now, in case one of those can't make it. And the alternate will be Christopher Rose. So that's our draw. It's unfortunate we couldn't hire all the students. We'd like to do that, and I'm sure everyone would like to have a job, but I guess unfortunately funding won't allow that, not under challenge. And all I can say is wish all the students good luck in finding jobs and good luck in their studies in the fall.
And I think if some of those, even with the alternate, if we need more, because some of those probably gets jobs somewhere else, we'll have the names there and we'll do the same thing, we'll draw them out.
Yeah. Okay, thanks.
The Burgeo Lions held their annual summer fair last weekend. Due to uncooperative weather, this year's fair had to be held inside the Lions Center. This week was the last week of classes for this school year. Students at A.J. Matthews School and St. John Central High received their report cards on Friday. I visited Ms. Tucker's grade 5-6 class on Friday as the report cards were given out.
I want to get your report cards given out to you. I want to get your diplomas out to you. And I have some plaques that some of you might want to get distributed before the day is out. So I'm going to speak to you a few words before I give out anything. You all know I'm not going to be your teacher next year, not yet. I might be some of the grade 5 teachers, I'm not sure, I might be up there for art or phys ed or something like that. But it's not going to be anything, hi, come on in. Not going to be anything substantial, but I will see you around the school. Grade 6s, I'm not going to get to see you guys at all, you're going to be in a different building. I'll see Glenn, I almost see you sometimes when enrolled, Burge's not that big. But I mean, in the classroom, I can say, sit down and be quiet. That sort of thing. Guys, work hard. You guys can do a lot of good stuff if you mind to put your minds to it. And you know, back when, right now you have 2 months coming up, you haven't got to do anything. But when you go back to school in September, you really have to concentrate. I'm not going to be there saying, come on, get the work done. It's got to come from inside your heads. The desire, the wanting to do well, it's got to come from you, because your moms aren't always going to know what you got to get done. Your teachers at the high school especially, you have different subject teachers, they don't put the homework on the board. I told you to use your agendas. Make sure you keep yourself organized. I wouldn't mind talking to some of my school teachers there and say, oh, I don't know, Biff Anning, I'll never pass in her paper. I'll be so mad, I'd probably phone you. Just because you're enemy reach, you're still in my mind. I'll still be thinking about this. You make sure you stays on topic and gets everything done. Make sure every project, every mark you can get, you make sure you get it. Sometimes you don't think about it, but you have to work for yourself. So anyway, after all that spiel, I hope you do all have a nice summer, a safe summer, and make us all proud next year. This award here, Dana knows she already gets this. This is a School Athlete of the Year. On Wednesday, we had our assembly, and Dana and Joey found out that they were Athletes of the Year, and they had the big trophy, the one that belongs in the trophy case. And today, they're getting their personal trophy. Congratulations, Dana. It's really heavy, the trophy is. It is. Now, we'll move on to the goodies. As you know, we have Most Improved Student of the Year in each grade, grade 5 and grade 6 each year. And this year, in grade 5, I don't think it's going to be a surprise, this person has come, she's a girl, she's come a long, long way. She's reading, she's got a vocab of over 900 words, she does her homework faithfully, she always tries her best, and she's come a long, long way. I think everybody knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Come on, Krista. You were really good, you did really, really well, so she's really proud of you. And in grade 6, it wasn't as clearly defined. There were a couple people who improved a fair bit. I went back over all your marks and all your grades and all your scores and everything. And the person I found who had improved the most over the year was a boy, and it's Gavin Green. Too much happy for a kiss, is it? Congratulations, Gavin. Student of the Year. Student of the Year is a good academic student, and they're also a caring person, a person who's not afraid to put in a few extra hours after school, helping me with the other students, a person who's committed to, being a good all-around person, good group worker, very considerate, looks at other people's feelings, good on the playground, that sort of person. And as you have it, it's 2 girls. I don't know why those boys are not like that. But there's 2 girls. In grade 5, the Student of the Year is Cora Durnford. And in grade 6, it is Dave Pink. The academic performances, these are based on your marks. This is your mark. We do it on averages. We work them all out, and we find out we've got the top averages. And it's 2 boys. just dawned on me. And in grade 5, it is Freeman Hand. Now he's skating. And in grade 6, it's Glenn Tucker. And in grade 6, the academic performance was so close. We're looking at just a couple of marks in different subjects to determine who was which, who was going to win it. And it seemed like it's been the same people winning since grade 4, since grade 5, since grade 6. And it's always been just by a couple of marks. And so, you feel like, oh my goodness, this is seeing those other people working so hard and not getting anything for it. So I asked Mrs. Benoit and Mrs. Grant, she looks after the money for the scholarship people. I said, is there any way we can find a little bit of money to get something as a token to these people who work really, really hard and have a job thing? And she's sure. So, sure we had something. And we got 2 girls. 2 girls who had very, very good academic performance in grade 6. And they are Julia Benoit and Jennifer Martins. Congratulations. 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 Like I told you all, have a safe summer, work hard next year. We'll see you at the end of September. And the other end, be at the high school, I'll still see you.
The kindergarten students had their graduation at A.J. Matthews School on Monday. And on Tuesday evening, the grade 6 students held their graduation. Here are a few highlights from both graduations.
These kindergartens are very modern. They're into all the hip craze dances, like the Macarena. So if you want to join in, feel free to do so.
Stay tuned for more of This Week in Review coming up after this.
Dear Mrs. Coleman, you don't know me, but I know you know my old red house at the end of the lane. Please forgive me for tracking you down, but I had to thank you. I'm not sure what inspired your kindness. Oh, it's a godsend. Since my wretched hip surgery, just getting to the end of the lane and back takes nearly half an hour, and sometimes the pain just isn't worth it. You brought me something much more important than newspapers. You brought me the understanding that it's the small, the simple things that really help people.
If you're doing just a little, you're helping a lot. From the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Off the rack. As July draws nearer, plans are being finalized for this year's Canada Day celebrations. This week as we scanned our tape racks, we came across Canada Day festivities from July 1993.
So much to branch out. So I uprooted myself from my home ground and lived. Took my dreams and I took to the road.
BBS Playbill. And on Tuesday at 7 p.m. for a rebroadcast of The Shack, Pink Boy. On Wednesday at 7:30 p.m. we'll have a video from the RCMP titled Shoplifting Doesn't Pay. Join us on Thursday at 7:30 p.m. for the Lions Cavalcade for Diabetes. And I'll be here again next week with This Week in Review. Next week's program will be followed by Stuffed Squid. Stay tuned now for Up the Shack featuring the Pink Boys from our friends at Ramia Broadcasting. For This Week in Review, I'm Dave Cooper. Good night.